guys, it's Manager Kylie, and in today's video, I'm going to go through all the rules of football. So today I'm going to go through the different rules of football and how the game of football works. I'm going to go through both just some of the basic details of what happens in a football game and then what some of the different plays and calls mean. But if you guys are interested in more sports administration videos just like this, definitely hit the subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload as I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So the basic goal of football is to score more points than your opponent. You want to be the one at the end of the game that has more points. Football is played in 4 quarters, and these are 15-minute quarters totaling to 60 minutes of play. If there is to be a tie at the end of this, it does go into overtime. Football is played on a field that is 100 yards long with 2 additional end zones on each end that are 10 yards each. So the total field, if you went from very end to very end, is 120 yards, and it is 53 yards wide. And the game of football is played 11 on 11. Teams usually have about 3 lines of 11 players. They have an offensive line, a defensive line, and a special teams. There are also white lines across the field to help both people watching the game and people in the game better understand where they are on the field. These are marked off with big solid lines at every 5 yards, numbered at every 10 yards, and there's individual hash marks at every yard. So to start the game, one team gains possession of the ball. There starts off with a coin flip. You figure out which direction each team is going to be playing in to start the game and which team is going to receive the ball. The other team kicks that ball off to the team that is receiving that ball, and then they are now on offense. So whenever a team has the ball, they're on offense, and then the other team that does not have the ball is on defense. And now the offense has one basic goal. They want to get that ball up the field to score. Now to score in football, you need to move the ball up the field, and you have a total of 4 downs to get 10 yards. So when you get the ball, wherever you get it, we'll say you get it on the 20-yard lines, you have a total of 4 downs to get it to that, at least the 30-yard line. And every time you reach that 10 yards, you get a new set of 4 downs. If you are unable to be successful in those 4 downs, so say the defense is able to stop you, they can do this by tackling, blocking passes. If the quarterback on the offensive team was to throw an incomplete pass, something like that, then the other team does get the ball. This can be done in 2 ways. On that 4th down, you can choose to punt the ball away, or you can choose on that 4th down to go for it. But if you are unsuccessful to get that rest of the yardage that you need to get that total of 10 yards, the other team does receive that ball from the line of scrimmage. Now the offense trying to get up the field can do this in a few ways. They can either run the ball, so typically giving the ball to a running back and they will run up the field, or the quarterback can choose to pass the ball typically to a wide receiver. Now to score the ball, the teams each quarter switch sides, but they are going in opposite directions. So one team is scoring in one end zone and the other team is to score in the other end zone for that quarter. Now, if you are interested in how scoring works in football, I will have a video linked up in the iCard. But to score in football, there's a few different ways you can score. You can score a touchdown that is worth 6 points. You can score extra points, which are either worth 1 or 2 points, depending on what you do. You can score field goals, which are worth 3 points, or the defense can actually score a safety, which is worth 2 points. Now for the different lines of players to make that 11-man on the field, you do have a bunch of different positions: quarterback, running back, defensive line, wide receiver, safety, and I do have a video with all the information on the different positions that I also have linked up in the iCard if you're interested in learning more of the details about who plays what position on the field and what their role is when they're on the field. Now a few more details about the game of football. One thing you might hear happen is a fumble. So this is when somebody that is carrying the ball drops the ball before they are down. So if they lose the ball while they're running, or if somebody's able to strip the ball away from them, this is a fumble. And whichever team gains possession of that live ball automatically gets the ball wherever they gain that possession. If they're able to run it up the field before they're tackled, they can do that as well. There's also interception. So this is when a quarterback throws the ball up the field and the defense catches that ball. They are able to run it up the field if they want to before they get tackled, but it does give that defensive team possession, and now the other team's offense is able to come on the field and try to score. So a quarterback can be sacked. This is when the defense rushes at the quarterback and sacks the quarterback or tackles the quarterback for a loss. So this also loses that down. They're unsuccessful with that down, and they get usually a loss of yardage, which makes the next couple plays harder for them. A quarterback may also throw an incomplete pass. So this is when they miss a receiver, throw it out of bounds. Again, this is using one of their downs, so it just limits the amount of opportunities they have to get that 10 yards they need. In football, there's also a lot of different penalties. So whenever a yellow flag is thrown, that is a penalty. That is when somebody's breaking a rule. I do also have a video going into more details of different type of penalties and what happens when certain penalties are called. If you're interested in that, definitely check out the iCard as well. Penalties both hurt the offense and the defense, so it depends on who's called the penalty on. If it's called on the defense, this means the offense usually is going to gain some yardage and sometimes even gain an automatic first down. If it's called on the offense, they're generally going to lose yardage and it's going to make it harder for them to get that first down. So say it's 1st and 10 and they get a penalty, it could now be 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20. So you just lose that amount of yardage, making it harder to get that distance you need to get a new set of downs. And one final thing in football, you may see a coach throw a red flag, and this is a challenge. So there's certain plays that can be challenged. If a coach doesn't like a certain call on the field, they can throw this red flag and challenge the play. There's a couple caveats to go with challenge though. If the coach wins the challenge, the call is reversed. That's good for the team. However, if the coach loses that challenge, they lose a timeout, and you're only given a limited amount of timeouts. So if you are to throw that challenge flag and you are unsuccessful and the call on the field stands, you do lose one of your timeouts. So those are some of the basic rules of football. If you have any questions about football, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Again, check out the videos linked in the iCard or the playlist linked at the end to learn more about the game of football. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you're interested in this type of video for any other sport, also check out the playlist I have linked at the end for sports rule books. And I will see you guys next Wednesday.